The last thing that I would like to show you is a program that you can download and install on your Windows operating system that will download, extract, and analyze metadata from public documents of a domain name. This is very similar to the search operator that we have used before, like the site zsecurity.org file type PDF. But instead of downloading each file and then analyze it, FOCA will download all of the public documents of this domain name and then analyze the metadata. The information that you can find in these documents are very valuable because you might be able to find usernames, emails, software versions, and the operating system that has been used. So to download FOCA, all you have to do is just to go to the link that you'll find in the resources of this lecture. And then if I scroll down a little bit, we can see that we need to have these requirements. So first of all, you want to make sure that you have Windows 7 or above, 64 bits, and you need to have Net Framework, Visual C++, and SQL Server instance. So let's download all of these. First of all, I'm going to download .NET Framework by going to this link, and all the links are going to be in the resources of this lecture. And then you want to click on Download .NET Framework, and then the file will be downloaded, and then I'm going to run it, and then click on Yes. And you can see that it's already installed on this computer. So I'm going to close this and go to this page to download Visual C++, and then click on Download. And then I'm going to select this file and then click on Download, and then run the file that I have downloaded, and then click on Yes. And in my case, it's already downloaded, but in your case, you just need to click on Next to download Microsoft Visual C++. So I'm going to click on Cancel. And the last thing that we need is an SQL Server instance. So I'm going to click on Download, and then you want to select this option and then click on Download. And after downloading the file, I'm going to run it. And then I'm going to click on Yes, and then OK. And after this, you want to select New SQL Server Standalone Installation. And then I'm going to click on Next. And then I'm going to leave the default option to be Perform a new installation of SQL Server, and then click on Next. And then accept the license terms and click on Next again. And then I'm going to click on Next again. And then you want to choose Default Instance, and then click on Next, and then Next again. And then we want to select Windows Authentication Mode, and then click on Next. And then it's going to start installing. And now the last step is to download FOCA on our machine. So to download FOCA, you want to go to this link, and then you want to click on Releases. And then you want to download the latest version, which is from 2021. So I'm going to download this file. And now it is in my downloads folder. So I'm going to extract it by right mouse click, and then extract all, and then extract. And now the file has been extracted. Now I'm going to run FOCA. So double mouse click, and then click on More Info, and then Run Anyway. So FOCA is running. I'm going to close all of these windows. And now the first step is to create a project. So in my case, I'm going to create a project called zsecurity, like this. And then I'm going to add the website, which is in this case zsecurity.org. And then I can select the folder where I would like to download the documents. In my case, I'm going to create a folder on my desktop and call this Documents. And then I'm going to select this folder. And then I'm going to click on Create. And now we are ready to search for public documents. So in my case, I'm going to search for all of these files. So I'm going to select all. And I would like to use Google, Bing, and DuckDuckGo. Now, from my experience, if you would like to use Bing, then you need an API key. And the API key is not for free. So you need to have a subscription. But if you would like to use Google or DuckDuckGo, then they are completely for free. So I'm going to click on Search All, and this will search for all public documents on the internet. And as you can see, here we have some files. So we were able to find 34 documents. Now I can see 2 JavaScript files, which I think are not important for me, but I'm going to right mouse click any file and then click on Download All. And this will download all the documents to this folder, as you can see here. And now the files has been downloaded. The next step is to extract metadata from these files. And we can do this by right mouse click and then extract all metadata, which will extract metadata from all of these files. And then I'm going to say right mouse click again and analyze all metadata. And you can see here that metadata analysis is completed. So if we looked at the left side, we can see that we have an option called network. And we can see that there are 2 machines. The first one is called PC Keylog, and the second one is called PC ZOZ. So this will give us an idea of the computer names that are used by the owner of this website. Sometimes you'll be able to find servers, but we didn't find any. Let me click on domains. We can see zSecurity. We can also see the IP address of zSecurity and that it's using Cloudflare. So this is not the real IP address of this website. This is only the proxy IP address. Now I can click on users. I can see the 2 users that I have found earlier. And then I can click on folders. And this means the links that has been found in the documents. So I can right mouse click, for example. We can see that the link here is winmd5.com. Right mouse click, and then I can say search documents where this appears. So I would like to see which document has this URL. And we can see that this document has this URL. Now let's come back. We can see that we have no printers, and we can see that FOCA were able to detect 7 softwares. We can see the softwares that has been used to create these documents. In addition to that, you can see the version of each program, which can tell you whether the owner of this website uses any outdated software. So we can see here that there is another option called emails, operating systems, password, and servers, but in this case, we weren't able to find any. Now, please keep in mind that I've used FOCA with multiple domain names, and I was able to find some operating systems, emails, and printers, which give me an idea of the website owner network infrastructure. So in this lecture, you have learned how you can use FOCA to download all public documents from a certain domain name and extract and analyze the metadata, which might reveal some information about the owner of this website.